In fact, let's go to an even easier example. I say 9 raised to 9 raised to 999 raised to 12. What is the remainder when this number is going to be divided by 8? So instead of this big number, can you think for a second that this is nothing but 9 raised to p divided by 8? P is equal to this, let's call it 99. Then p will be equal to 99 raised to 999 raised to 12. This p means there are a lot of nines, don't know, but a lot of nines. How many? These many nines from this point onwards, right? But each of them is being divided by 8. That means all of them are going to give you a remainder of 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So your answer is going to be 1 raised to that power. Just to be very, very clear. Whatever that power was, my answer is going to be 1 only. So here, this composite index did not even make a difference because there was no problem. I was only getting a remainder of 1 from every single term. What that means is, do not get scared of the composite index. It's a very, very simple idea. Just the terms are fairly big and difficult. We have done this example a lot of times, so let's try it out in a couple of variations. 9 raised to 56, which is raised to 57, which is raised to 60. Now the question is, this is being divided by 7. What is the remainder? So I should start by thinking this is nothing but 9 raised to p, some power. P you can write separately if you want, 56 raised to 57 raised to 60, right? Now 9 raised to p means a lot of 9s individually being divided by 7. So a single 9 gives you a remainder of 2. 2 9s will give you a remainder of 4. 3 9s will give you a remainder of 8, which will make it a remainder of 1. So that means you need to rewrite 9 raised to p and in terms of groups of 3, right? Very simply put, once again, the power now should be divided by 3 and my focus should be on trying to find the remainder. Why? Think of this as 3 girls. These many girls are there. A lot of girls, right? You want to form a group of 3 because a group of 3 will serve your purpose, will give you a straight away 1. How many groups are there is not important because multiplied 1 by itself will give you 1 only, right? But you are interested in that once you are done with this grouping, however number of groups are there, how many 9s are left, because either there will be a 1 9 left, 9 raised to 1, or 9 raised to 2 will be left, because once you reach 9 cube, again it will become part of the group cycle, right? That means my question now is, divide the power by 3, and what is your power? So your power question was 56 raised to 57 raised to 60. That means I am focusing on the power part or the indice part only. Now I am dividing this by 3. Why am I dividing this by 3? That should be clear. Why do I want to find the remainder should be clear. Even if I can't personally explain it, it should be a curious thing for you. Why am I looking for the remainder? Now as I divide this by 3, let's say, I know 56 will give me a remainder of minus 1, right? 3 19s are 57. So every 56, and what does this mean? If I write 56 raised to 57 raised to 60, what does it mean? A lot of 56, right? Lot of 56. All of them being divided by 3. Each going to give you a remainder of 1, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, right? Each of them is giving you a remainder of 1, minus 1. Why? Because 3 19s is 57 and this is 1 behind that. That means it is minus 1 into minus 1 into minus 1 into minus 1 into minus 1. How many times? These many times. So now your question becomes minus 1 raised to 57 raised to 60. Once again, slow down and notice this step. Now the question was about 56 divided by 3. So a lot of 56. How many 56s? These many. 57 raised to 60. Each 56 gave you a minus 1. That means minus 1 raised to 57 raised to 60. Why? Because it was simply minus 1 how many times? N times. And what is n in this case? 57 raised to 60. Now, when you are at -1, your only question now was whether this number is even or odd, at least with -1, right? Whether this is even or odd, because if this number is even, this will become 1. If this number is odd, this number will become -1. This number is obviously odd, because what does 57 raised to 60 now mean? It means 57 into 57 into 57. Each of these numbers is odd. Odd into odd into odd, you need at least one product of two, multiple of 2 to make it even, and that is not happening here. That means this 56 raised to 60 is odd. That means -1 raised to a very big odd power. The overall result is going to be -1. Don't get lost in the thread. -1 means a remainder of 2. Why? Remember the process, we were dividing this by 3. So what happens in such a question is, you start from here, you starting with 9, and then the question becomes about 56, and then you find the remainder, and then by the time you reach this point, you have forgotten what you're doing. But after a couple of rounds of doing it slowly, it should not be too much of a problem. Again, there is a remainder of 2. What does it mean? Once I form a lot of groups of 3, there will be 2 9s left. There are so many girls, when you divide them into teams of 3, still 2 girls will be left. Why? Because once you took the power, which was 56 raised to 57 divided by 60, which was nothing but 56 raised to some power, you divided this by 3, you found out the remainder was 2. Why were you dividing it by 3? Because you needed 3 girls. What does the remainder of 2 mean? There are 2 girls left over. Why is this important? Because all of this, no matter what this power is, was going to give you a remainder of 1. Each of these 9s is going to give you a remainder of 2 and 2, so your overall remainder would be 4, and your final answer now would be 4. This will not take this much time in solving. This is because I'm trying to explain it and repeat the couple ideas a couple of times so that we get a firm grasp by the end of the session, right? But if you're clear, then it's just going to be a remainder question and then another quick remainder question, and then taking the answer back here and putting it there, right? So I hope this makes sense, and of course, as we do more questions, this will become clearer and clearer. So our next question is 69 raised to 69 raised to 69 divided by 11. No problem, just think of this as a p. That means my question is 69 raised to p divided by 11. I know the process by now. 69 into 69 into 69, a lot of them, divided by 11. 11 6 66, remainder 3, no problem. This also will give me a remainder of 3. If I go for 2 of them, I'll get a remainder of 9. If I go for the third one, 9 3s are remainder of 27. 27 divided by 11 again, you get a remainder of 5. Go for one more 69. The 69 will also give you a remainder of 3. 5 3s are 15, and 15 divided by 11 again, your remainder so far is 4. And now you have a hint of the idea coming. 4 3s are 12. 12 divided by 11, my remainder is 1. So this is a revision of what we have done in the previous chapters. How many 69s are needed? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now I want to see how many groups of 5 can I form in these many numbers. Again, I'm not interested in how many groups, I'm interested in how many will be left over, because the group is going to give me a remainder of 1. That means now my question is, take the power, divide it by 5 and try and find the remainder. What is the power? 69 raised to 69, the second part. That means now my question is 69 raised to 69 divided by 5. This should be done fairly quickly. 69 divided by 5, the remainder is -1. Why? Because 5 14s are 70. 69 is 1 behind it, remainder of -1. The power is 69, which is odd. That means my overall remainder is going to be -1 raised to 69, which is just -1. What are we dividing with? We are dividing by 5. That means a remainder of -1 is the same as a remainder of 4. What does this mean? This means once you take 69 raised to p and try and divide them into groups of 5, you will get some number here, not interested in that, but you will be left with 469. So it should be clear that this flies and comes down and lands over that. So the connection and context of everything, why are you doing what you're doing? Now the question is, this divided by 11, you know the remainder is 1, and for this 69, you want to find 3 into 3 into 3 into 3, right? Because each 69 gave you a remainder of 3. So 9 3s are 27, which means a remainder of 5, 5 3s are 15, divided by 11, remainder of 4. So now for this, finally my answer is going to be remainder for the question asked, which was the original question. My answer is going to be 4. Please do check for yourself, right? Also, I might be making mistakes, so it's your job to try and find them, because when I'm making this, I am trying to pay attention on a lot of things, on the concept, on the design and everything that is going on. So a lot of times I'm so engrossed in the logic that I might be missing out on the numbers, but please check for yourself every process, right? So there might be a calculation error here or there, but the focus is on the logic part of it mostly, right? So my answer is going to be remainder of 4. So I hope by the third or the fourth problem we get more and more comfortable with the process and understand it is nothing but a remainder question hiding inside a remainder question, because you have to divide the power again and try and find the remainder again. Had it not been about the remainder, life would have been very, very difficult, because we know how to find the remainder. We haven't found questions in any of these cases. So that helps a lot in trying to get this done. So our next question is 31 raised to 31 raised to 31 divided by 7. Now I have a hang of the process, means a lot of 31s. Don't even write it, go step by step. This 31, 7 4s are 28, is going to give me a remainder of 3, right? This 31 is also going to give me a remainder of 3. So this becomes 3 and into 3, 9, which means a remainder of 2. The next 31 is also going to give you a remainder of 3. 2 3s are 6, remainder is 6, which also means the remainder is minus 1. Now you can go for this method, or you can take one more step and say 3 31s give you minus 1, another 3 31s will also give you a minus 1, and your remainder would become 1. So even this shortcut we saw earlier, how to reduce your work, just go for the minus 1 and double the numbers and you get it. Now 1 2 3 4 5 6, that means my group size is 6. How many girls are or boys are there? P boys are there. So 31 raised to 31 now should be divided by 6. This should be very easy. Each 31 is going to give me a remainder of 1. This power doesn't even matter. So overall my remainder is going to be 1. For the second part, the inside part of the question, this divided by 6, right? Why? Because the group size is 6. That means when 31 raised to p, I can rewrite as 31 raised to 6 raised to some power which I don't know, but my remainder is 1. That means there is 131 left. All of this is being divided by 7. You know the remainder for this is going to be 1, and the remainder for this is 3. So your overall remainder is going to be 1 into 3, which is 3. So once again you found the group size and you took the composite index and divided it by the group size, tried finding the remainder, because that told you how many 31s existed which were not grouped in your trying to find the remainder of 1. So I hope this makes sense. So this is it for this small little session trying to deal with one specific problems. We will see similar problems in the chapter on trying to find the last digit and the cyclicality involved here. And overall it's a good idea to see something and being able to write it as an abstract form or as a symbol, so that you don't get confused in your process. It is the same process, just instead of 10 or 12 there is P written here, and you go step by step. So it's also a useful tip in terms of how to learn one basic idea and apply it in different situations. So this is it for the day. In the next session we'll move back to the practice questions and try and do a lot of practice questions so that we thoroughly master the process. See you soon.